Hey, yo, what's up? Vandal here, and we are back in a preview for episode 5 coming right up very soon on the 5th of September. And I've got with me Trippyogi all the way from the west coast of the USA. What's happening, man? How you doing?
Yo, what up, Vandal? How's it going? Happy to
Nice,
be
I'm
here.
doing
Thanks for
good.
having
Thank
me.
you. Thank you so much for joining me. Making yourself available for this interview because I've had a lot of fun talking to the different artists and just getting their experiences and listening to what they have to say about getting into things. And I would love to hear your story on how you got into music production, DJing, and how you discovered it all.
Yeah, definitely. So I think a lot of it kind of goes back to, it's been a little while now, 2019, and went to my first electronic music concert and was just kind of blown away, the whole vibe of it, the energy, the love that people were sharing. And so I was just super inspired to make dance music. And so I started producing and really took a deep dive into that. And then my partner that I started producing with at the time, we decided, to move to LA and pursue it full time. So yeah, we were just making music, DJing, and just kind of like dove full on into that. And then while we were doing that, we needed some like visual content at the time, flyers, motion graphic stuff, things like that. And that's what kind of initially got me into the visual side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And so from there, yeah, the visual aspect just kind of like, I was just so into it, what you could do with like code generative art, motion graphics, 3D stuff, that kind of just took the forefront for me for a while. And it wasn't actually until getting involved in the metaverse and everything that was happening that I started getting back into DJing again. I had been doing live shows, but more on the live visual side of things in
Mm-hmm.
IRL. Yeah, and then some opportunities came up and just started, spinning music in the metaverse. So yeah, it's been really cool to kind of like see it all play out over this time.
Nice. And you were mentioning that you were DJing before. Were you producing before you started DJing, and what led to that transition?
Yeah, so it was production first. I was just really into making music. I grew up playing, I was classically trained in violin, grew up playing guitar. And so I had a little bit of a musical background, but I had never actually produced like beats or music from front to back, original music. So that really captivated me. And then the DJing was kind of out of this uh, desire for live events, the live connections,
Mm-hmm.
being able to foster communities through, connections founded or basically built upon like music and like those cultures that get shared across boundaries. It's kind of like crypto, it's like music's very borderless, and emotion that you feel and that you're able to share is something that you can connect with anyone on.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that and like the community aspect of it was kind of like what led to the DJing. We would throw events and then we would DJ, and the DJing was also a way to like play our own music, so we could like test it, see how the crowd reacted, iterate on it, kind of like a product. Yeah, and so from there we would play shows, shows in LA, shows in San Diego, mostly Southern California, and yeah, had a lot
So
of fun.
I'm curious because I also started as a producer as well back in the analog days, back in
Nice.
1992, using hardware gear and stuff
Yeah,
when samplers had only a few seconds sampling time. I'm
yeah.
curious as like what type of what type of software or gear were you using to start out to make music?
Yeah, so most of it started with software synthesizers. Ableton Live was definitely like the DAW of choice.
Mm-hmm.
Massive Native Instruments stuff. I really love Guitar Rig for like, it's just like multitude of effects that you can build in it. And then as far as like hardware synth, had a Nordwave, but got rid of that. I did love it though. The one I still have is the Moog Little Fatty. Is just kind of like a classic bass synth.
Mm-hmm.
Also recently picked up OPZ from Teenage Engineering, And that thing
Yeah,
is just
yeah.
like, it's amazing to play with. Like when you're traveling, I just like take it on the airplane with me, and you can like program full songs on it and stuff. Yeah. So yeah, OPZ's like really dope.
Yeah, it's
Um,
pretty cool. I've got a Speak. Yeah,
oh,
the
what's
Pocket
that one?
Operator.
Oh yeah, those pocket ops are sick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you can do all kinds of fun stuff with that.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
it's really cool.
same company, right? Teenage Engineering.
Yeah.
They do that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, they're making great stuff. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
It's really cool. Like especially like on the go. It's so small. Like I was just
Yeah.
blown away. I
Yeah.
remember
And
the first I guess drum machine I had was like a Boss. I forget what the number was, but I used to bring it to school with the batteries, and it had a
oh
little
yeah,
pads,
dude,
and you
little
used to like little
sequencer. Uh-huh.
make the beats on the sequencer. It was a lot of
Yeah,
fun.
dude. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's fun when like the music is just, I mean, it's like you're playing, it's like a toy, you know, and that's like how creating music should be. It should be playful.
How,
Yeah.
how do you feel like your musical background in terms of like violin and the other instruments that you play, like how has that benefited you as a producer and as an artist in terms of creating?
I think a lot of it is just getting to the core of being a creative. You know, it's like that state of flow is kind of like what we all strive to achieve for, you know, when we're making, is just getting lost, like completely losing yourself into whatever it is you're doing. So like when you're playing a live instrument, I think that is a big part of it. You know, there is the study portion, but it's a matter of like trying to get past that to where you're no longer you thinking about it, you're just doing. And I think I see that, that's something that's like universal across like all creative domains, where, you know, even when I'm creating something in like digital art form, 3D sculpting, VR, whatever, it's like being able to just switch into that flow state and get lost in like that creativity. And I think the music background really helps with that. And also, you know, just as far as producing, it's being able to understand melodies and chord progressions and things like that, and having an ear for those types of things obviously will help too.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And okay, so you also mentioned, you know, the art along with the music, the visual side of the art, right?
Yeah.
Was that something that was like triggered by the live shows and the live DJ performances that you did, and wanting to add visual elements, or is this something else, like just an artistic form of expression that you wanted to just combine?
I'd say a little bit of both. There was definitely a tangible need for it. Like we needed visual content to go along with our music. So out of that need stemmed like my recognition of like, oh, I really enjoy doing this. You know, I love making visual content. And then I just like, you know, I couldn't get enough of it, you know. And so when you find something that you love, it's very rewarding. So yeah, I'm grateful that like one led to the other. And it's funny because now it's all kind of like circling back to where now I'm not just making music, I'm not just making visual art. I'm trying to figure out how I can create these like audio visual immersive experiences for people. So yeah, yeah,
Is
it's
there
been fun.
anything that I mean, we can link something if there's something you want to share with the people. I can put it in the description, or you can even pop it up if you want to share the screen. I can enable you. Edit, screen
Sure.
share. Mm,
Let's see. I'll just send you a link to a recent one, and this is one of the more, and we can just talk a little bit about
okay.
this.
Yeah.
Should I just send it here in Zoom
Sure.
chat?
Yeah, yeah. I'll connect it to, so when people are watching this, I'll put it in the description below, and then they can click through to it at their own time to experience it.
Sweet.
Okay.
And here, let me go ahead and I'll share my screen. Oh, it says host disabled participant screen sharing.
Yeah, let me just figure out how to enable it. Where is it? More. Okay, where is it? Okay, let me see. Hmm. Yeah, I'm looking at the things here. I don't see the option for screen share. Hold on.
Oh, is it bottom middle? But that's to share your own
The
screen, huh?
sound. Yeah, I guess I would have to make you the host. I'm not sure if I'm
Oh,
going
okay.
to lose the recording or not. How about
Yeah, that's okay.
let's just share it. I'll
We,
share the link in the description, and you can
yeah,
click through it.
Yeah, and I could just talk about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So this piece that is linked is called Depth of Love, and it's actually I just released it on Super Rare, but this one was a lot of different had a lot of different elements that went into creating it. So first off, it started with VR sculpting, and it's kind of like keeping with that concept of like blending audio with visual art. I'll put on some music that kind of fits the vibe or the emotion that I'm trying to evoke. And this one was for the super rare Atlantis VR exhibition that recently opened on VRChat. And so we were all creating these installations that were going into this virtual world. So sculpted all the digital assets, put them into this like VR chat scene, and then also started composing the music for it. So you can also hear the music if you visit in VR chat, kind of like surrounds you. And this one in particular, I had tuned to the frequency of 432 hertz, and it's centered around the heart-centered healing. So it goes along with the theme Depth of Love. So it's meant to just kind of embrace the users or the participants in just like this warmth of love, and surround them by this giant crystal cathedral that encapsulates these two lovers who are just sharing this deep, intimate moment. Yeah. So there's a little bit of a story behind that one. But yeah, I'm looking to create more things like that, more immersive experiences, stuff with VR, things where I'm able to like make music and art and kind of like package it as one thing.
And how do you find the crypto space, like the different crypto projects that are out there, for example, like Cryptovoxels or Decentraland or these spaces? How do you find it, fitting these experiences into those places? Have you had an opportunity to do that as well, aside from the art chat or the other ones?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's perfect. Like the spaces that are being created, the different metaverses. I can link another one. So Cryptovoxels, this one just got released. Let me pull up the link real quick. And this one's called Amanita. And it was part of Pranksyland. But this one's more of a visual art experience, but it's based in Cryptovoxels, and it's themed kind of around like mushrooms and medicinal herbal healing. And, there's like a crystal cave at the top, still kind of like along these themes of, spreading wellness and love and healing and that kind of thing. And I think that these platforms like Decentraland, Cryptovoxels, Somnium Space, are really enabling users and creators to, by giving them really accessible tools to create these immersive experiences. So yeah, it's like you can post anything in them, you can post videos or images or GIFs, different art, sculptures, things like that, and create these unique experiences. And then combined with the crypto side of it is this can be packaged, with like a sense of digital ownership that can be transferred as a title. So then you're bringing like tangible value to the art pieces. So it's almost like data / creativity is going to be, frictionlessly exchangeable with, like monetary value. So now like artists, musicians, and creators can get rewarded for their creations almost in like real time. Or at least it's kind of approaching that. So yeah, very, very powerful.
Yeah, it's like a new economy of creative data in a sense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Which is pretty exciting. I mean, like the space. I was just doing a bit of research today for another project that I'm planning out, and I was curious to see sort of what the numbers are and the statistics in the crypto art scene. And just based on the top 4 platforms, we're looking at like over 2,000 artists and over 3,000 creators, with a volume of like upwards of 6,000 transactions and like over $800,000 of volume already within this small niche community. And
Yeah.
you know, the opportunities I think are quite amazing as the technology begins to, I guess, expand and refine itself with all the platforms. And yeah, like what I'm curious, what do you think is going to be the future of this space? Like in your vision, like how would you see the future of the crypto art and music space?
Yeah, I mean, my vision, obviously very utopian, kind of like my art, and I envision, I think the platform's getting to a place where crypto isn't necessarily the focus. The focus is like all this beautiful art and these beautiful experiences are getting made and getting shared, and this
Mm,
underlying economy is all kind of like automated to the point where we can just like enjoy what we're doing. You know, it's like consumers can enjoy consuming and creators can enjoy creating, and these exchanges happen, you know, with like available liquidity, like creative liquidity, you know. It's
yeah.
like it's all available to happen in these exchanges. And I think, you know, with COVID and all of that, it's like the virtual worlds are just on the cusp of starting to like explode, you know. There's
Mhm.
like this proliferation of these digital worlds, and the artists are just kind of like moving as fast as they can to kind of like help build it all out. But yeah, all it takes is for like there's a couple things, either like one really huge artist to like join one of these platforms, you know, like a mainstream pop artist or something, or two, something negative happen, kind of like the Apple Epic
Yeah.
ordeal, things like that, where people, you know, people recognize the value of digital ownership on like a grand level. So yeah, I think mass adoption definitely in the next 5 years, but we'll see. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always great to hear, you know, the perspective of other artists who are in the space who've had a chance already to you know, try different things out
Yeah.
and create in it. And you know, because we have a wide variety of artists who come on board for the pop up, and a number of them are also very new, who have no experience at all in the metaverse, and this is sort of
Oh
like
yeah.
their first introduction. And you know, one of our missions is to sort of assist the onboarding of new artists, as looking at
Yeah.
this space as an opportunity, as well as a new way of you know, monetizing or creating value for the art that they're creating in the real world, and to experiment. And I think this is, it's great to hear from like people from like yourself, who have had the experience and are now sort of evolving that into new things. And I think that it
Yeah.
acts as an inspiration to artists coming into the space to like know what the potential is. But, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, I think I share the same sentiments as you too. It's like helping onboard new artists. And I've always, like, a big passion of mine has always been like helping other artists and helping, you know, their projects as well. So one of the things that I also have in works too is I've linked up a couple organizations, one from the crypto side, one from like the traditional digital. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk on it yet, but I'll probably release more details soon. One from the traditional like Instagram digital art, and so getting them to come together and help onboard new artists while also exposing crypto art to kind of like people who know nothing about it, you know, and getting like the younger generations of artists kind of like in tune with what's possible. I think
Mhm.
that's really cool.
Yeah, and of course we're always like, you know, with such cutting edge technology, there's always obstacles and certain things
Yeah.
that come into play. Especially right now, we're dealing with the crazy gas prices
Oh
on
man, I know.
minting things, and I think today was the highest I'd ever seen it. It was upwards of 300 gwei,
Yeah.
and just like crazy. So, you know,
Yeah,
these
it's
are
been
all
insane.
the hiccups that come with the territory, and
Yeah.
you know, hopefully we can continue to mint art and make cool stuff in the metaverse. And speaking of which, you know,
Yeah.
Saturday, September 5th,
Oh yeah.
episode 5 of the pop-up, and Trippyogi yourself, you're going to be playing a DJ set for us, and maybe let the people know what kind of vibe to expect, and yeah, what kind of music and so on.
Yeah. Is it going to be a Twitch stream? Like, how is there going to be video as
Yeah, we're
well?
gonna Twitch it.
Cool.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I'm going to be bringing a, fresh new set to the DAOrecords pop-up, and going to probably have, a little bit of variety there. I'll probably see how far I can push it. We'll have, some loungy, like deep house, tech house stuff. Maybe throw in, some like hip hop, drum and bass kind of vibes. We'll see what kind of journey we can take it on. And then also, bring a little bit of a visual element, kind of like the Trippyogi visual experience as well. So
wonderful.
yeah,
That's great.
looking
Yeah.
forward to it.
Thank you so much for taking the time to join me for this interview. I think this is great.
Yeah.
It's great content for people to look at to get, more information about you and a greater understanding of what you're doing and what's happening in this space. And I'm really looking forward to your set because I heard you play before at the Whip, and it was totally awesome. You had like some
Oh, thanks, man.
really great hip hop remixes that I heard you throw in there, and I'm looking forward to this. So don't
Oh
forget
yeah.
to tune in Cryptovoxels, and we've got all the details down below. So check the description. You can also link directly to Trippyogi on his Twitter. Is that cool? I'll link your Twitter.
Yeah, yeah. Just hit
Okay,
me up on Twitter if you have any questions. Feel free to reach out. And yeah, looking forward to seeing you in the metaverse.
awesome, man. Thanks so much for taking
Yeah,
the time. All right.
yeah. Thanks, man.
Okay. Take care. Peace.
You too.